Hello everyone, welcome back to my Minecraft beta Let's Play. So in the last episode we started making some progress on this house, and we spent a lot of time working on a mine. There was a couple things that I had to fix in the previous episode that I'm going to take care of right now. So my main goals for today are to finish the mine and do some strip mining, and get enough resources to complete our house, and then start work on a farm. And then after that, I'm thinking about putting some sort of like bridge to connect both land masses. And afterwards, I'm thinking about starting on making a bridge to cross this, or I'll figure out some other project because there's a lot of ideas that I've had. Just like a lot of different things that I've wanted to do. It's just like always struggling to pick which thing that you want to do. Before we get that started, let's go fix the mine shaft. Man, it's so nostalgic to play this and just hear the sound of the rain and the slow C418 music in the background. Really does make you feel like you're the only person in the world. Okay, so I'm gonna start putting in these wooden pillars. I space them 5 blocks apart, and they go up 6 blocks with stone slabs on the top. See you in a little bit. I did want to say thanks for, anybody watching, because, I know this isn't the typical kind of Minecraft gameplay that you normally see. It's not very hectic and fast-paced, and I don't really get a lot done, but, that's kind of what I'm going for, is just taking my time and really just savoring every moment. Because, I feel like that's just something that's really important, is to just take your time to really just savor what you're doing and, not rushing to make these massive extravagant builds and trying to like just do all kinds of things every single episode. Personally for me, it's like I want to be able to look back at these videos and a couple years, 3, 5, 10 years, and continue to play on this world in that time, and be able to look back at the progress that I made. Because the progress that we make might not seem significant as we're playing. Like one episode we did this bit of the mine and we did the house outline. In this episode, we're going to do a little bit more. You know, it doesn't seem like a lot, but over the course of a year, it's going to add up to a lot of really cool and really exciting builds. Small little progress every day will lead to something massive in the end. And I was going to say too, like, if you guys really like this chill, laid back style of video, consider liking the video and consider subscribing because this is mainly what I plan on uploading on this channel. There's just a lot of like really laid back, chill gameplay. I do have plans for like 100 days videos and all kinds of other interesting stuff like that. And I want to keep the style very relaxed. I don't want to be like really loud and over the top. Just because that's not really something I'm interested in. No hate on the YouTubers that do that, because I know there's a lot of YouTubers who are really loud and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just like that's not something that I really want to do because those kind of videos get overstimulating after a while. And there's so many creepers everywhere. Holy cow. Yeah, I've always just thought too, it's always just nice to have kind of like a quiet little space because there's a lot of really good YouTubers that I've watched who are really chill and really laid back. And that's something I've always really appreciated, especially it seems in the Minecraft beta community. There's a lot of people like Monster, and I guess he's more alpha Minecraft, but and there's like Dialco. I hope that's how you say his name. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. You know, there's just like a lot of really chill, really laid back YouTubers, and you know, I think that's a good thing, especially Minecraft videos I notice have always been really, let's get a lot of stuff done, you know. Let's try to progress as quickly as possible instead of just, you know, taking our time and enjoying the process instead of enjoying the end result. So I feel like it is more important to enjoy the process because it makes the end result more rewarding instead of only striving to achieve the end result. And I feel like if you're doing it that way, you're going to get burnt out because you're striving to reach the end goal of like placing the last block on a castle. That all the work that you do to get the blocks for that is just kind of pointless. Yeah, like I said earlier, this is a world that I'm going to be playing in, 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. It's, barring any like massive unfortunate event like your hard drive is just breaking and you can't recover it. But, I do have plans to make backups in the future just so I don't lose my progress. I think lightning struck that tree. I saw it on fire for like half a second. These Let's Play videos, I obviously I hope you enjoy them, but it's also a good reflection for me to just look in the past and see exactly what I accomplished. And it's nice too because you can, kind of make a roadmap or like a timestamp of, okay, this is everything I built in this world and this is when I built it. I almost forgot to mention too, I did notice that there were some issues on the last video. And it's nothing major, but I did notice in a couple spots where it gets really dark that the video looks pretty bad. I've tried to tweak some settings just to get like pretty fluid gameplay. Yeah, with all that out of the way, how's everybody's summer been so far? Did you do anything fun? Anything exciting? Do you have any like interesting stories to share? I would love to read people's comments. If anybody's willing to share their experiences. As for me, I haven't really done too much this summer. I've just been spending my time working, unfortunately. Which is why like the length of time between uploads is so long. It's like, I would like to upload more, it's just I always find it kind of difficult with my schedule. That and when I do have time, it's like, mental illness, like depression, always makes it hard to make these videos, but once I get started doing them, it's actually very, very fun, very enjoyable. I find a lot of joy being able to do this. Just starting a random Minecraft world and sharing the experience with others is very rewarding. Okay, so my plan for this mine is to make 3 different paths. So I'll have one path right here. And I'll have one path here. And then another path on this side. We'll mine 3 by 4, so 3 blocks across, 4 blocks high, and then we will add decoration eventually. We'll make like little pillars, and because my plan, as I mentioned in the last episode, is to have railway carts go up right here to connect up to the top. And I also want a railway line that goes down the middle of the mines, sort of like here. Because I want to use this area too as like a way to kind of... Oh my god, that's not scripted. I can't believe I just found diamonds, but yeah, I'm gonna make a mine and it's gonna connect. This is gonna be like the central hub of the world, and then it's gonna branch out into 3 different areas, and then I can use the railway to get anywhere in the world. I guess we should see how many diamonds this is. I literally was not looking for these, I swear. But my thought process behind doing the 3x4 is just because I'll get more resources this way. Because, I could just make like a 1x2 tunnel and then just, you know, strip mine like every couple blocks, just dig out. But I'm not going to get as many like resources that way, like cobblestone. So I'm doing it this way because to move a single block ahead, I need to mine 12 blocks of cobblestone or dirt or, whatever I mine. Wow, 8 diamonds. That is crazy. Wow. Yeah, I'm still debating if I want to just mine straight ahead like this or if I want to stop and mine out like every couple blocks. I could add lights every couple blocks, so I could do like every 4 blocks, and then the fifth block I could put like I don't know, like a piece of glowstone with a piece of glass or like a bucket of lava, and then just do that. I don't know. I guess we'll just mine for a little while and we'll kind of, figure out what we want to do. Okay, I've been mining for a little while. Mining the 3x4 does take quite a long time, but I had enough time to kind of think of what I'm gonna do, and, I'm gonna put wooden pillars every like 5 blocks, and I will put lights in the middle. This is gonna be like a long-term thing because, I don't really have much built right at the moment, but that's what I meant earlier when I said it's gonna be like a slow burn. Things are gonna get added very slowly over time, but over the course of, a year, progress is going to be significant. As I've been mining here, I've been trying to think of like other things I want to build, and I don't know if you guys have the same problem that I do, but I always feel like every single building that I make needs to have some sort of function or some sort of purpose. It's like something I'm trying to like overcome in this playthrough like over time because I do want to build like a very big city here eventually, like where we have now, and I'm gonna have to build a lot of buildings that don't have a purpose. I don't know why I struggle with that so much. I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing, but it does kind of make me feel trapped in a way when I play and when I build. Oh wow, I just found more diamonds. I can't believe that. So, whenever I've played beta in the past, it's always like really hard to find diamonds, but just in this one tunnel, I found the 8, -1 for a shovel. And then I found another, wow, I found another 8 vein of diamonds. That is insane. I never get this lucky playing this game. I guess it's all the YouTuber luck that I've used up now. Yeah, I think after this little bit, like I'm gonna mine this coal and then I think I'm done mining for the day because I went through, I think 4 iron pickaxes so far. And I've collected a lot of resources, like I've already stored some cobblestone, so I think we have an adequate amount to start our next projects. Just more so like starting to put it into motion and figuring out what exactly we want to build and how we want to build it. I mean, I would call that a successful day mining. Now we got 16 diamonds. Got over a stack of redstone, half a stack iron ore, some gold. All in all, not a bad day. And I'm not trying to use my diamonds. I do want to save them. I don't know what I'll use them for. I'll probably just end up using them for tools in the future. But for now, I'll have to hold on to as many as I can. Since I'm not the best builder, I'm probably just going to do something pretty simple for the house. Not anything like too over the top. And that's another thing too, is I would like to improve like my creativity with building. as I play this game, so it'll be really nice to look back on these older videos and see the progress that I've made. You know, like a lot of the times when I build, I just kind of just throw things together, like random things in my mind and hope that they work out well. A lot of the times they don't. I don't really know how much I like that, but we'll roll with it. We'll see what happens. So I feel like I got the outline done. I don't think I really want to make it any higher just because I don't really know what else I could put. So the next thing I have to finish up here is put glass in the windows, and this is supposed to be like a little balcony. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put a door here, and then I do want to put fences, but the only problem with the fences is they're like a full block and they don't connect to the wood, and they do this like weird thing, so I don't want to kind of have it like this, you know? Not that this, I guess, isn't really a horrible thing. And then after this, I'm going to have to figure out what to do with the roof because I'm not really good at building roofs and I'm not sure kind of what style I want to go for. You know, and I don't know how unruly the stairs are going to be in this version, so. Okay, so I finished the house, and these are vines, or like what I could try to recreate, kind of growing on the house, and then these are meant to be hedges. They go all the way around the house. Let's kill the spider really quick so he doesn't interrupt me. But then I have like these little overhangs. They're kind of meant to be like awnings or like provide some shade, that sort of thing. Like I said, they continue all the way around. And then in the front, I put this little like balcony area with these fences. I put some flowers and little water. This provides, you know, some more color and some more depth. And with the roof, I just went with stairs and slabs. I put slabs in the corners. Try to make it look as good as I could, since, you know, I'm not the best at building roofs, but I think it actually turned out really well. And then this is the work I did on the interior. I haven't really done too much yet, but you know, I put some texturing on the floors. And yeah, on the second floor, I put my bed in up here. I put in like this little chandelier thing, which was a headache to build because in order to place fences, you have to have a block underneath them. So this was like a really big mess, but it looks a lot better now. And then this is like the little like balcony sort of area, which, you know, I think that's just a phenomenal view. Probably one of the better views you can get in beta Minecraft, but you know, I think that's gonna do it for today's episode. You know, I'm proud of all the progress that we got done today, and on the next episode, I'm gonna focus on just kind of touching up the house, touching up the outsides, adding some more depth in places where I can, and a little bit more decoration. And then I'll probably focus on kind of clearing out all these trees, and then I'll build paths to the mine shaft over there, and then I'm probably going to do some work on like the outside of the mine shaft because, you know, I don't really like the way it looks. I don't think it's like horrible, but I definitely think I can improve it. And also, I'm going to work on making some farms. I might make just like a couple little wheat farms in different places, just to make sure that, you know, we don't have any problems with our food situation, which I don't think we will. But anyways, that's gonna do it for today's episode, and you know, thanks so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more of this kind of content, and I'll see you soon.